How you guys doing? We were talking about the Xfinity series in this one. One thing that we've been seeing more and more in this Xfinity series field this year is pretty wildness. A lot of ups and downs, mountains and valleys in terms of how guys are finishing, in terms of what teams are doing. And so in this case, I figured I would just put this up on the screen. As I've been looking at Xfinity Series races more and more, it's very much a like John Nemechek's going to be fast. Joe Gibbs Racing is probably going to be fast. Sammy Smith is probably going to be fast. You know, Junior Motorsports. You know, you got Allgaier. You got Barry. And Jones isn't doing anything. Welcome to your potential winners. We're seeing Cole Custer get up there more and more, which is good because Riley Herbst had a lot of speed this year. It took a lot longer than probably all of us figured for Cole Custer to be up there, getting his confidence back, whatever the case may be. But I just figured I'd put this up on there because that'll probably answer more. You can see that there's like really outside of the consistency that Nemechek is having, everybody's kind of all up and down. You know, Austin Hill is very much a third place to sixth place guy. You know, he's not having the speed to get the lead and sustain the lead. He has the speed to stay there, to stay 4th to 7th in these races, but he's not doing anything more than that. Same thing with Creed. Creed is viable when he offers you place differential because you know where these guys are going to finish when they mess up a qualifying lap. When they don't do that, it makes it very difficult to play these guys. And we're seeing the more telling thing and the more interesting thing down here is where the fucking back half of the field is. I mean, in all honesty, like, who cares about the top? We can identify who's fast there. That's not the hard part. That is not what is winning you contest. It's not what's losing you contest. I mean, if you don't have the right guy leading the laps and stuff, like, but what is decided in these contests are what these guys are doing back here. Okay? You know, Pocono. And, you know, I tend to say this a lot, but I mean in different situations. Like Nashville, you can't fake speed because, like, your car is either going to handle well or it's not. You're either going to be able to put the hammer down out of the corners to maintain the speed or you're not, you know. And there's other tracks to where you can kind of fake it. Most of the time, it's the faster short tracks that you can kind of fake speed at, or certain intermediate tracks. But Pocono, Michigan, these flat-out, aero-dependent racetracks where the field will spread out, that is where you cannot fake speed, okay? I will be very shocked, even when we look back at last year's event, and we look at last year's race, we look at where these guys qualified. Now, you got to also remember, I mentioned this in the Cup Series video, this race also got fucking stupid, and these guys just kept racing each other. We flipped a car over. It wasn't even a blowover. He just took a little tumble. I wish he would have flown to the pit wall. It would have been way cooler. But, yeah, sure, we're seeing this place differential come through. But, like, Williams, it's because, you know, look at the amount of guys that got wrecked, that got involved, that had damage. Excuse me, that got trap laps down. So on and so forth. I mean, this is significant. You know, 7 guys being wrecked out, that bumps everybody up 7 positions. Basically, I mean, you can argue Ronnie Bassett, LeBay, and Caruth, but all these guys are most likely running anywhere from 21st to, you know, higher and stuff. And so it pushes a lot of these guys up. Past that, you know, Sam Mayer, 12 to 6. Okay, that's seeable. Gregson and Ty Gibbs, you know, had super fast cars this whole year. It's not a surprise. Castle in the colleague car going from 21st to 11th. I mean, that's not surprising. Or any of these really surprising. Brandon Brown, you can argue. Brandon Brown. Let's go, Brandon. Miss you, buddy boy. But past that, are we really seeing any place differential plays that are like, yeah, man, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that's kind of, you know, like that. Or that's kind of like, wow, yeah, that's out of the ordinary. Not really. Like, past this, now we're at Kyle Sieg, we're at Stephen Parsons, Mason Massey, Ryan Vargas, Bailey Curry. I mean, these are guys all taking advantage of these guys wrecking here, and they're still not finishing that far up. The reason I'm mentioning this is, outside of guys really messing the Q lap up that have real speed, you know, like real top-line cars and stuff, I don't foresee myself playing much place differential. Just like the Cup Series, I don't imagine I'm going to be purposely chasing somebody like starting 30th, expecting them to finish 12th or something. Okay, We can't fake speed here. Qualifying is going to be a very good indicator of where these guys are in terms of race speed, because guess what? Yes, you have practice to look at as well, but when you're a single car, qualifying, trimmed out, you can specifically see where the cars are at in speed. You can see how they're handling the corners, and you're going to see a huge gap between the pole sitter and probably 20th. And they're going to see a huge gap between 20th and probably dead last, okay? So place differential is just not a situation where I really want to, really chase and stuff. It is, if I'm playing guys in the back, it is because there's misprice or I can fit them in the lineup that I like. For the most part, for Pocono, I'm going to be focusing on guys probably starting in the top 17 on upward. And probably if I can, if I have to do anything, it'll be people like Mason Massey. It'll be like Timmy Hill, Chad Fincham, whoever's starting. I don't remember who the MBM car this is this weekend. Hopefully, maybe Kyle Weatherman and Brennan Poole can qualify the JD Motorsports cars in like 30th. That'd be fantastic. We can feel comfortable playing them. We can't play the JD Motorsports cars and they're like 23rd, 24th. That's where they're supposed to finish. That's their ceiling. They're not going to get any higher than that. So hopefully we can have at least, some guys that we can get comfortably to and, outside the top 29 to fill the lineup out. Yeah, so that's mainly it. I don't want to play the guys in the back, and you can see that it's people all over the damn place. There's not really any consistent guys back here. It's wild. This year is so crazy in terms of this. Like, even when you look at Poole with the JD Motorsport, yeah, I mean, this is I have them sorted by this is like average speed in the race, a percentage of laps ran certain positions, fast laps, laps led, things of that nature. So this isn't necessarily the finishing position. But I like to look at this more than the finishing position. So we're seeing like Poole back here, basically like 31st, 33rd. But like he's finishing better than these situations here. Like Timmy Hill's going to probably finish better than the running position in dead last. We're seeing that the Alpha Beta Prime cars are just fucking slow as molasses. They're slow. They're horrible. Like, dude, man, why is Tommy Joe entering 3 cars each weekend, dude? It's so stupid. Anyway, so the top half of the field, I think this weekend I'm going to specifically try and either chase, and this will be determined in practice with practice speed and qualifying, Nemechek, Cole Custer. I think they have a real chance of being the guy to just walk away with the race. Colleague, this is a track to where if Chandler Smith shows the speed in practice and qualifies first, and has that advantage, that's a situation where the trimmed out Colleague cars can still be very, very playable this weekend. Okay, probably not. Who's in the car this weekend? Suarez, probably not. He's probably not going to compete for the fucking pole. Who else is Castle? I forgot who else is in the. Who else raced for Colleague? I just went blank. Anyway, Chandler Smith's the only Colleague car I have any interest in. If he qualifies up front. If Chandler Smith starts 8th, I just can't play him. But I like Sheldon Creed. I like Austin Hill. I like Sammy Smith if he's in the 9K range. A lot of this, they have to be in the 9K range, okay? We're going to have, like Kligerman, probably going to be like 82 to 88, somewhere around there. I'm okay with Kligerman if he starts in the right position. We haven't really talked about Sam Mayer a lot as of late. Consistent running speeds, man. I mean, he's been a top 10 car, with top 6 upside. If Sam Mayer is like 9,100 to 8,800, I want to try and jam him in. Anyway, the reason I'm saying that is because I probably want to play the most expensive guy, which is probably going to be Cole Custer or Nemechek, most likely Nemechek, and I'll probably play Nemechek at probably like 11-1. And then I'm going to try and do my best to spend a lot of the rest of the salary in lineups around the 8 and 9K ranges. Unless there's a 10K guy that I just feel like is either going to get close to 50 points or be just a very safe play. I think that the 8 and 9K ranges are very important this weekend. Kaz Gralla, probably in the 7K range. I think he can work this weekend if he can maintain the speed. I mean, he's right there. He's a fringe top 20 play. He's anywhere from 17th to 23rd each and every weekend. Let's see if we can pay that off. Ryan Seek, I'm interested in. Connor Mozak, I'm interested in. But a lot of these guys are very dependent on what they can show me in practice and in qualifying. Pocono is a very interesting, pretty fun track to build lineups for, because you just can't really focus on place differential, you know. And if it goes through, it's because the guys just completely wreck out. But if the race goes green, which I like just building for, you're not going to see a lot of passing here. You're not going to see a lot of guys going through the field. It's going to be, you know, anywhere from like 3 to 5 place differential points, and that's it. It is absolutely guys starting up front, staying up front, being up front. You know, that's how I want to build the lineups for, and that's really, I don't know, that's really like my 2 cents for Pocono. I figured I would just show this weekend and kind of just have them on the screen. But these are the last 4 races that I would look at specifically. And yeah, I mean, this Xfinity series has been all over the damn place. I'm so tired this year, man. I'm so tired of making like 4 to 5x in the races and just losing it at the end due to green white checkers, man. I would love if this race goes green. We'll talk about Brett Moffitt real fast. Probably, I can't project him any higher than 8th or 9th. He'll probably start around 13th. I don't know if that'll be enough. If Brett Moffitt starts anywhere from 18th to 22nd, by all means, play him. But these are guys that you just need to see the speed from him. You need to see the projections work out. I think it's gonna be a fun weekend. This is a situation where if there is, for whatever reason, and we'll talk about this in live shows, if there's a chalk play in the back that isn't due to a place differential, it could be a place differential upside. If there's a pretty identical pivot to them, I would absolutely play the pivot. Sorry, I'm kind of talking. Like if there's, I can't think of a real name. Let's say Blaine Perkins, for example. Let's say for whatever fucking reason, Blaine Perkins starts 33rd, 32nd, and he's chalk for whatever reason. If I can play Mason Massey and he's starting 32nd, if I can play Joey Gaze, if I can play, I can't think of another name of somebody be back there. You know what I mean? Ryan Ellis, Jeffrey Earnhardt. I'd rather take the lower owned play, man, because I just can't envision these slow cars in the back going from like 33rd to like 25th. It'll probably be like going from 33rd to 31st. You know, I might as well just take the guy starting 34th. Hope he finishes 30th. You know, these are going to be small changes, but I think that's worth getting different this weekend. That's kind of my talk, or my approach. We'll talk Truck Series tomorrow. I got stuff to do later tonight. But anyway, I wanted to make this one to post it for you guys. I will see you guys later in the live shows this weekend. If you want to support me, if you want to support the work I do, you can join the Patreon, or you can donate through the PayPal link in the description below. I'll see you guys later.